Hello and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. And after the last sort of tongue-cheek video I did, I'm going to get back to the more serious and say mundane videos. So with the influx of new players coming in, a lot of people have been asking about the crafting system. So I thought I'd give a quick rundown on generally how it works. So there is quite an extensive crafting system in the game. For older players, that is almost a laughable remark, what I just said, as there was no crafting system in the game for about 6 months. But we now have one. So I'm going to show you generally how do you get a weapon like this that I'd say I'm pretty happy with, you know, with the perks, with the blessings. How do we go about this? So I've just picked up a new weapon from Milk, which I spent. Actually, I'll start from the beginning. I'll show you the ways of acquiring them first. So if you want, you can come over to Milk's requisitions, and you can do weekly contracts, and this rewards auto dockets. And as you can see, I have 5,920 because you can have 4 characters. Well, you can have 5 characters, and they are accumulative over your entire account. So I can do all of these and get an extra 1,000 for completing all of them. They stack up, and you can spend them on limited time acquisitions, which are pre-rolled weapons, and you can go through it and go, ooh, do I want this? No. But if you do see something you like, for example, I just bought the Lucius Mark 1 Hellbore Lasgun, not because of anything up here, because I don't have Surgical Mark 4. And you can tell that because it's greyed out. So if you look at the other weapons, they're greyed out. Perfect example here. Rampage 2 is greyed out because I don't have it, but Power Cycle 3 is in white, saying that it is added to my repertoire of blessings. So that is one way to get things pre-made and to be able to get blessings straight away that you want. But usually what you'll do is you'll come to the shop. Now the shop refreshes once an hour, and you can go through and you can either get lucky and try and buy an item with a high modifier. They go up to 380. So the closer to 380 you are on this number, the better the weapon is. All of these aren't great, and they generally won't have a high level blessing on them if they're in the shop. Okay. So your best bet is to either pick up a green version, or if you get very lucky, a high level grey version. Now if you can, that's brilliant. That's another way of acquiring them. And the third way of acquiring them is you go into the Brunt's Armory, you pick what you want. So let's say I want another Mark III. I want a Mark III Hellbore Lasgun. As you can see, you click it from there. It has a cost of 9,200 gold, or whatever the hell the currency is called, and you acquire it, and it gives you a random grey version. As you can see, this is only a 314, so it's basically terrible. But you don't want to be getting rid of these just yet, because they're going to be used for something in a minute. A 362, not a bad version of it. Charge rate's good, ammo's good, stability and stopping power are all pretty great, damage a bit low. But that's a pretty decent roll. Again, as you can see, that was a pretty terrible version. I'll just do it one more time. Ooh. There you go, a 379 with perfect damage, stability and stopping power. 80% is the highest you can get. The charge rate's a little bit low, but as you can see, it's a 379. So we're going to hold on to that one. So what do we do now? We've got some grey blank weapons to mess around with. As you can see, I've got lots of the same gun, but there's a reason for that. This is how we are going to farm blessings. So what you'll do is you'll take the gun you actually want to work with, and for me that'd be the highest level one I just got. We consecrate it, which is taking it from grey to green, and that'll add a perk. You can consecrate it again. And that'll take it to blue, and that'll add your first blessing. So as you can see now, when you get into the blue version, you start getting blessings on them. And this is how we're going to farm blessings. But you will need an awful lot of material, of plasteel and diamantine. But what we're going to be doing with all of the awful versions of the guns that you're generally not going to keep, say this low-level Akatran Recon Las gun. I don't want it, but what I do want are blessings for it. So we'll consecrate that up to blue. So now that's blue. We're never going to use this gun, but we are going to earn the blessing off of it. So you hit earn blessing, and then you surrender the weapon. And now that blessing has been added to our repertoire of blessings. So as you can see, you just click on the weapon you're looking at. Go to re-bless it. I've already got a Mark 4 Death Spitter on this one. And you've got rank 1, 2, 3, and 4. Mostly what you're going to want is the tier 4 blessings. As you can see, I've only got a few of these on the Recon Las gun because I don't use it very often. Got quite a few of the tier 3s, tier 2s, and none of the tier 1s. So that is generally what you're going to do. You're going to continuously bless weapons to blue and then strip the blessing off of it that you want and hope, and just hope for a tier 4. So that's the grindy way of doing it. The first way I showed you, going to Sign Milk, that resets every night at so 1 AM British summertime. So whatever time that is for you in whatever part of the world you're in. At that time, every night, the shop resets and it will show you more weapons. And if you get lucky and there's a weapon in there with a blessing on it you want, you can grab the weapon and sacrifice it to get the blessing off of it. But for newer players, you have to keep in mind, right? So this tier 3 Terrifying Barrage, even though Terrifying Barrage can be on most guns, if you take it off of a shotgun, you cannot then put it onto, say, an auto gun. It's very, very irritating, but they're not universal blessings. So this Terrifying Barrage blessing will only work on other shotguns. It works on a family of guns, not all. So as you can see here, I have this tier 3, but on the Columbus, I don't have the tier 3. But then on the Columbus again, I do have the tier 3. And even though these are technically called the same thing, the Columbus Mark II or the Columbus Mark V, this is the infantry version, so I have the blessing. This is the braced version, so I don't have the blessing. It's incredibly confusing. But go back to what I said before. If it's greyed out, you don't have it. If it's white, you do have it. So to use the technique that I showed you of buying blank weapons, blessing them up to blue, then stripping off, always do that on the exact weapon that you're trying to bless. So it's a carbon copy of it. Okay? Now this works more or less the same way with curios. If we go down in here, you can see there's a green curio with its blessing on, which is 1 wound. And here's a blue version with 1 wound and 15% chance of curios as mission rewards instead of weapons, which is arguably the worst blessing in the game. But curios work slightly differently. Okay. So we can see these are the curios that I'm using. What they've added now is you can now change 2 of these perks. It used to be only 1. So what you're looking for when you're doing curios is the highest amount you can get from the blessing. Say that's only got 15 toughness on. The toughness can go up to like 20%. So if you have a 20% toughness, keep it, but re-roll the perks to what you want. So on these, I've wanted toughness combat ability regeneration and regeneration speed. So all you need for a Curio is one perk on it that you like and the blessing, and you can change the other two. And I know this is a lot of information I've sort of condensed into a very short time, but it's not as complicated as it seems. It's just very, very, very long-winded, and it will take you a while unless you get extremely lucky. But I think I can go through on some of these. You can see the amount of power swords I've just got sitting here because I was trying to roll up power cycle rank 4. But that's generally how crafting in this game works. You can also receive weapons at the end of each mission. Each mission you do, you receive the Emperor's Blessing, and usually these weapons will be absolute garbage, but if you're doing Damnation or Auric, they can be transcendent and they can have tier 4 blessings on them. But I think at the last time I looked, you generally won't get tier 4 blessings on any difficulty under Damnation or Auric. I don't know if they've changed that though. I haven't seen anything saying that they have. But in a nutshell, that's how crafting works. But if you are confused, please do comment under the video and I'll try and explain it the best I can. But this is I have already done a crafting video, but this is that was quite a while ago. This is an updated version. Okay. So if you've got any questions, any qualms, any confusion, please do let me know and I'll try and clear up the best I can with how this system works. Last but not least though, I haven't touched on perks. Perks, you don't have to roll anything anymore. Say, we'll take this auto pistol for example. You go to refine item, you choose which one you want to change, and it used to be you had to randomly roll continuously. Now you can just pick whatever perk you want. So they've simplified that massively. So I really hope this video helps, folks. And if it does, please let me know. And if you are confused also, please let me know. I'll try and explain a bit more. But if you've enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And if you feel so inclined to go check out the members area, for 99 of your pennies a month, you help keep the lights on with this channel. And it keeps us going. So until next time, take it easy, and I'll see you later.